man. It's
How's
so
it going?
funny. I was like, can we do 2 p.m.? Because I might sleep in late because I've had some long nights, all this. And like my wife was waking me up at 1:45.
Oh man.
I never sleep that late, but it's been a long week, So like I was like, oh, so then I came over here. It's like, it's so nice. Like it's quiet in here. It's really nice.
Oh man. Yeah. Friday nights when we do these streams or whatever, they're so late and we had to get up early Saturday morning and I'm like, oh man, I'm too old for this already, but I hate to miss them. I don't want to miss them. So
I don't either. Like, I love them too much. And like, this is a long, like I said, I got a funeral tomorrow and all this stuff and family coming in for my grandmother, which it's a good thing. But, man, it's been some late nights. And it's like, we need, it's kind of like the national thing we were making the point about. Like, maybe we should do a little more a different time zone.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing. Like when he added Brad and Shooty Eric to the group or whatever, it was like it's 2 more East Coasters. And so now it's kind of balanced out that where half of us are West, half of us are East. So I think it's going to help us out a lot. Maybe we can do some 9 p.m. starts and stuff.
Dude, I'm all for balancing that.
Oh, me too, without a doubt. So
how you doing, dude?
I'm good. I'm
sorry I missed I'm glad you got my phone number now.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to check all the different stuff. So I missed when you're like, hey, are you gonna be in the shop tomorrow? And I was like, I would have definitely been here for you.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
No, it's fine. We will definitely make it happen again. It was just one of those kind of, we were going to go when the Channels brothers went and there were some logistical issues. And so we're definitely going next week.
Right.
Probably call and see if he's going to be there. Cause I know, like I saw that you were in Bogota and everything. I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
I got back and then it's just writing the family stuff, a lot of it this week. And then I came by the shop, I was like, I'm going to go by for 30 minutes. And both times it ended up being like 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
But all really good stuff. Like I didn't know this one kid in this family who's a wonderful guy. This wonderful young kid, 12 years old, had driven from Nashville. And that's always the problem, of course, like if I've got to go outside the shop. But when I come in, like in the day, like I put my phone down because I don't want to be on the phone texting when I'm talking to these people that want to come and hang out.
Right. Yeah.
So,
no, I understand completely. That's so cool. Yeah, I wanted to do this, not really to be seen or anything, but just kind of like, we're trying to cover all the bases of the hobby. I'm like, who's the, there's a ton of big givers, but like, who's the big, well, obviously Jimmy, we can do this. And, I've been meaning to send you something for a while. And so I was like, well, we can record it and make content and, just do something cool with it. And maybe it'll encourage and inspire people to.
That's always the goal. That's always the goal. It has nothing to do with, I know it's that way with you. I know it's that way with K-Dub. I know it's like, it's inspire. Like, and I think the more people see that, I think that's the coolest thing about this hobby.
Mm-hmm. And it's the one thing where, when Kato and I have conversation, he's like, why is there so much negativity? And I'm like, it's so easy to fall negative. Like it's so easy because, and then it becomes like a mob mentality. Now everybody is negative about whatever, and I think a lot of it stems from there's a deep rootedness of unhappiness in people where they've turned to cards for some sort of an escape, and this isn't fulfilling them. But I just said we just got to keep being the light, and so that's what kind of want this to be.
And the way I look at it too is wherever the light shines the brightest is that's what attracts all the bugs, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
That's always going to happen. So to me, then just be brighter. It also kills them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like that.
It's good deep South analogy.
Yeah. Moth to the flame. Yeah.
It's moths to the flame. That's all right. That's fine. I'll take on that responsibility of doing that. But I also feel like I remember, I started trade night and then passed it to Ryan Johnson. And then, but the whole reason that we started that was I was seeing what Kato was saying, all this negativity, everybody yelling at each other on Instagram. I'm like, I bet if you all in the same room, you wouldn't yell at each other. Yeah. There is no way. And of course, we started, and it goes through the roof, and everybody has a ball and meets other collectors. It just becomes a card show. Mm-hmm. And that was the best because, like, they were all 13-year-olds watching other people yell. Some of them, not all of them, but and it's like, you don't have to. Somebody just needs to say, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And of course, from there, we're good.
Yeah, for sure. I with the negativity, I always find myself in the middle because I'm the guy that really, there's a few of us, but we don't cause waves like in that sort of sense. And so it's like, oh man, I see the good in these people. Like,
yes.
And so they're like, why do you interact with these people? I'm like, there's good in these people. Like, there's some solid, like, good in them. And, then that side's like, why are you talking, he's this, that, and the other. I'm like, there is some really good in this person. You're both the same people with two different ideas.
Here's what I always say to that. You don't make more good by people by only dealing with good people.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, you've got to go out and a lot of people, I'm not saying that it's us that's making them, but sometimes you got to dust somebody off or say, have you thought of it like this? Have you thought of it like this?
Right.
And they go, and people want them to say, yes, you're right that second. Sometimes you just got to give somebody something that when they go to bed that night and their head hits the pillow, they're like, I think he's right.
Yeah.
And they think about it, and it's like, but yeah, that's the hard part.
Right.
You're not really doing anything if it's just, I'm just around good people. Like, you gotta go make some differences.
Exactly. Being rooted in faith, it's the one thing for me. It's like, I don't have to bash you over the head.
Same here.
With my faith, you're gonna know it. Like, oh, you must be a ... And I don't want to make you uncomfortable with my faith. What I want you to do is know that, like, I'm doing this stuff because I've been taught to do this stuff, and that this is where it comes
Amen.
from. So
amen.
And if it's so funny because sometimes somebody will use language in a chat or something like that. I'm like, sorry, TMurph. I'm like, no, it's fine. Be
right.
Like, I'm just glad that you're letting me be me around you. Like,
right.
Don't change who you are for me. Let me be me
right.
around you, and then you'll want to change. Like, because if you're already apologizing for language, it's just like, oh man, I'm seeing it from a different perspective. Like, I'm seeing it through Tyler's eyes now, or I'm seeing it through Jimmy's eyes, or whoever. And so, being, having that strong foundation is great. But like, now we get to try to lay the foundation for other people.
That's right.
And we do it through kindness. We do it through love. So
I love it when people are like, why do you, like, you just gave me a $2,000 card or this, like, even back before I was where I am now in life. It's like, do unto others. Yep. Like, I think it'd be really awesome. So I want to do that for you. Like, it's just that simple.
Right.
Can't take any of it with you, and you got to be wise and smart with what you have. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, people will just, use it for the wrong reasons. But you can tell when you're doing something for the right person for the right reason, how it's going to hit them.
For sure.
I sent out my biggest rack ever this week to a guy I know, and it's real big, but like, it was just so easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Those are the best ones. Like, I'm not losing anything. Like, with when Tico was going through his stuff, I had made some moves, and sometimes racks have like the coolest stories ever, where I won an autographed Dwayne Wade basketball jersey from the Bulls on Twitter. Just, so cool. And got up with a guy who had just pulled a Dale Murphy powder blue autographed baseball jersey. I'm like, hey, can we swap? He's like, yeah, no problem. So we swapped. I was Dale Murphy. I call him Uncle Dale.
Right.
And then I knew a Braves collector who had a 1-of-1 Aaron Rodgers printing plate autograph. And I was like, what can I trade you for this? And he, Jason Longworth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, what can I do? And so we strike up this deal, and he gave me a deal. Like, he knew where it was going. He knew it wasn't going to stay with me. I'm not a Packers fan. So he gives me a deal. I'm like, look, I'll send you this Murph jersey, send you some Brave stuff. You send me the Rodgers. He's like, yeah, that's no problem at all. And then, I write this letter to T-Cove, and I'm like, dude, I know you're going through so much right now. I just want to let you know that we love you. We're pulling for you. Get better, blah, 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 blah. Boom, right. There it is. And, somebody's like, oh, you just gave away an Aaron Rodgers 1-of-1 auto. I was like, I didn't give anything away. I gave to someone.
That's right.
It's not going away. It's going to.
It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
I love that story. So, even though it involves me, I love it so much because it's like, and the story when you pulled the 1-of-1 Zion RJ, and they're like, he's doing what with that?
I got more fun out of that than if I had kept it and put it on the wall of a guy that I don't collect. And like, I don't care that what it's worth or was worth and all that. I could care less.
Right.
Like having people go, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, and like, wait, I got to understand this and diving more. That was the value of that to me.
Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of people took something from that where it was like, oh man, like Jimmy's got a crazy collection. He's a big UK guy. Like you got all this stuff, but at the same time, it's like, that's a pretty big card. Like,
yeah, I mean, you can always sell this stuff and get more UK stuff, right? Like, yeah, it's not just, oh man, that's one thing I hear a lot. It's interesting to me because in my life, I was a teacher for 8 years. I made $21,000 a year. Like, so I never feel like a guy that is where I am now financially, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like I always feel that way. And I hear people say this a lot. They're like, I can't wait till I have enough money to give. You can't look at it like that. You got to start when you don't have anything giving and train yourself just like anything else. And you give and you give and you give. And then if it goes to a point where you can't give more, then that's more fun. But it has nothing to do with wait till I'm here to do it. You got to just do it.
I love that. And I think I love that. I know this is why I love what K-Dub's doing Monday.
Yeah.
April 26th. I don't know when this is going up, but April 26th, it's because he just invited you to send a PWE, which means there doesn't have to be anything of financial value. Oh. And, when we look at giveaways, we look at opportunity costs. What am I giving up? And what am I getting back? Like, and I like to say the gift is the receipt. Like, this is my receipt is I've given you something. That's enough for me. But, we're not looking at financial stuff when we give stuff away. We're looking at like impact on lives when we give stuff away.
Totally.
This is what we want in the heart. And so when you give stuff away to someone or give stuff to someone that seems like they have everything or can get anything they want, it makes it extremely difficult. And so it's like, I'm not worried about what he thinks about some old school Kentucky Colonel's autograph. I know it's going to put a smile on his face, or, with Cato, whatever Viking he likes, Alexander Madison. I know it's going to put a smile on his face for a $3 autograph or whatever. So.
Always, so this hat, Mark Sullivan, a guy that comes in here all the time, is the nicest guy in the world, got me this hat. He brought it in the other day. He's like, this got sent to my house by accident. I think he was joking, of course. And brought it. Like, I love this hat more than any $500 card I got.
Mm.
Like, or whatever, more than that. Like, it's just Mark went out and got me a Braves hat. And he's a guy that I got to meet through the shop. And his son. And like, there's nothing better. Like, this means it's a hat.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
It's the little things. And so with our Braves fandom, we can agree on that. We can't agree on the UK UNC stuff. It's just not going to happen. But
it's so hard. It's so hard. Look, man, I lived there 20 years. I had every fight you could have.
Yeah. It's tough. I tell you what, because you had to hear it from Duke fans and Carolina fans. It wasn't
man.
And Duke fans are worse,
I was in the thick of it, flying the flag. If anything, I was faithful, and it was great. It was great.
But
actually, I've got now. It's so funny because I've got guys that are like in the program from Carolina, in the program from Duke, that are dear friends. It's just so funny because in my Kentucky fan friends are like, how can you talk to that guy? It's like, no, they're fine. I get it.
We all make bad choices, so
right.
I just think your guys made the worst choice, but yeah. But yeah, with our Braves fandom, it's been tough. As good as it's been lately, it's been tough because like it feels like we're right there, and we're on the precipice of greatness, and then there's this big giant out in LA that feels like they're going to be in our way for a long time. And I get excited though. I get excited when I see fans like you or like Dr. Bobble. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter.
I will.
He's a big bobblehead collector. Like he's got every bobblehead you could think of. He's a big Braves fan. It's just so cool. He's a Tar Heel fan too. That's why I shouted him out just now.
Nice.
But I mean, just to see like the passion of the fan base or whatever. And so it's like, Jimmy's got a ton of Kentucky stuff. We can't relate to that. I want to relate to him on like a Braves level.
Let's go. Because I'm just as crazy.
Yeah. And so, I remember the days of being excited about Paul Maholm coming and pitching.
Yes.
I was there for his first start in Atlanta, like a few days after he was traded. I was there for that first start. And I'm like, Paul Maholm, he could throw 88 miles an hour. He had one good year. But I'm excited. This is the guy that's going to get us over the hump. And so, we've been through it all. You've been through more than me. But
hey, look, I've got like literally on my little breakers table, I've got one card. People are always like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's a 1991 Topps Francisco Cabrera, and that's never leaving that table. Like, my man had one great hit, but he'll live on my table and for life.
Forever, yeah. And that's the cool thing about sports fandom, and why I'm so excited about this Braves team is because, we, so much youth, and so much promise, and it's going to keep coming. Like there's, Waters and Contreras, Langeliers. I think it's
Langeliers. Yeah.
Bryce Ball. Like if they bring the DH back, like this guy feels like he's going to just hit home runs forever. There's so much to be excited about.
I say I've been collecting Christian for the last year and a half. Years, just gobbling up him, just like I did with Acuna back before he hit.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pache was one where it's like, oh, this guy could be the next Andrew, maybe. And Andrew is my all-time favorite baseball player. So growing up in the '90s, it was Chipper and Andrew, and I was always Team Andrew. But I didn't dislike Chipper. I liked Chipper a lot.
I was big Team Andrew.
Yeah, just the flair, the athleticism. It was like he just felt like the guy. Even though we had Chipper, it was like, oh man, we got the Jones brothers.
You're right.
And so when I heard about Pache, like, man, if he can ever start hitting, like,
let's go.
Yeah, another Andrew.
Let's go.
Another 25 in center field. I'm here for it.
I love. I mean, I just remember coming home from school every day, watching the Braves on TBS, like every day. Like this was that like Murph, Bob Horner, Pascal Perez times, Glenn Hubbard, like old school.
Yeah.
Moved to Atlanta in the 90s. My family did. So like, and I was in college. So I didn't have I had friends I met at college from Atlanta, but I moved in college. So that's a hard time to go out and hang out with. So I just lived at Turner Field when I go on for breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me, Andrew, Chipper, the squad, and me just with my phone tomahawk in the outfield. Like,
yeah. Just a blast.
Loved it. Yes.
Yeah. Like my first Braves game, they played the Dodgers and Maddox pitched against Kevin Brown. And Maddox hit a home run off of Kevin Brown in the game, and they lost the game. Like, yeah, they lost 5-4. I'll never forget it though. I was like, Greg Maddox just hit a home run in this game. It's all I cared about.
That's so awesome.
But just like those weird things. The last Braves game the family and I went to, Freeman hit a walk-off home run off a hater. I'm like, if we can just have moments like this every time we go to Braves games, like I want to come forever.
Not only that, but you'll have somebody coming with you. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like you just tell me every time you go that I'm going. Oh, I'll get a joint.
I'm here for it.
I'm sure this isn't helping the recording.
It's okay. People won't tune out, I promise.
I remember it like being so excited about Jason Hayward. Being so excited about Frank Coor, and like I can't get enough.
Yeah,
I can't. That's why it was so fun with the chipper thing, because like it was like, oh, I can like, oh yeah, like this is done. Like how many spots you got? Like I can feel your spots, brother.
Yeah, for sure. And that was the cool thing because I sent
Your second question was great.
I had to,
I loved it.
It was my little dig at JV, because we have an ongoing feud, Acuna or Soto, and we both know the answer is Acuna. And
of course, JV knows it.
Yeah, he knows it too, deep down. Yeah, he knows it.
Can't wait till he watches.
We'll convert him one day, but yeah, just I had to do it. I told him I was going to do it beforehand. I was like, I'm going to ask him.
Yeah. That was awesome.
It had to happen.
And he seemed like a really good guy.
Really did.
Like,
yeah.
Did you get to see in the waiting room? I got to watch all of y'all. Mm-hmm. So I was in like that waiting room and watch everybody else's and then watch like beforehand when Chipper was getting ready.
Yeah.
Just seemed like a super down to earth dude.
That's what I told people after, because they kind of booted me from the stream after I was done, to make room, I guess. And but just him interacting, oh man, I got a tough day, long day today. I'm like, he's just like me, just like a lot more money than me.
Right. Right.
He has tough days too. Like he's having fun, doing this too, kind of thing. So
yeah,
just so cool to see.
I loved it.
But yeah,
every bit of it.
Oh man, and everybody just super appreciative of you doing that for us. And
that was a no-brainer.
Oh man, it was so cool. Like just one of those where everybody around here, from a 2-stoplight town in South Carolina, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Chipper Jones!" I'm like, "Yeah, Chipper Jones."
I remember. I mean, all of South Carolina, of course, is Braves country too.
Yeah,
because I just remember like going to Braves games in the '90s, and it like we love Chipper, Aiken, South Carolina. Like girls with signs in the outfield. Like there was never not a we love Chipper from somewhere South Carolina. Yeah, in the stands.
South Carolina, the Hall of Fame, like the Mount Rushmore of athletes from not from South Carolina, but in South Carolina, Mount Rushmore's Chipper Jones, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Ric Flair, and then you could put literally any football player from George Rogers or Spurrier. Like it's interchangeable, with those guys and
Clowney.
Yeah, Clowney. And maybe Watson and Lawrence, But it's still Gamecock country and everything else. But those are the forwards. It's always Chipper, Dale, Ric Flair, and then pick your football guy. It's so cool. Being everybody just focusing like you have a whole state that's just, we don't even have a pro sports team, but we're just all.
It's like here.
Yeah.
Same thing where the focus is year round on basketball. Like we can call anybody up in my family and they'll tell you the starting five from the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter age, doesn't matter any of that. Like they all know. Yep. And that's what we do.
It's so cool.
I love it.
That's so cool. It's football like that around here. But I'm so close to, I'm as close to Chapel Hill as I am to Columbia.
Yeah.
And so that's, that's kind of like why I had a choice. I could choose the Gamecocks or I could choose UNC. And so I was like, definitely choosing UNC. Love the Tar Heel Blue. Yeah.
You chose wisely on overall.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Just overall sports, South Carolina.
Have you been to the Dingo?
I have.
Many times?
One time. and then I've been to Little John, Clemson. I got to see Vince Carter play at Little John in Clemson.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, him against college competition was it was unfair.
That year I went to it was 98.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see Carolina play at VMI.
Okay.
And little school they had 2-1 with military school in Virginia, which is next to my college in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to go see Vince Carter and those guys play VMI in a gym that was like the size of a high school gym.
Yeah.
And watch them just obliterate. Like, it was a dunk show. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was the cool thing about seeing, him that one time in college was, oh my goodness, just he was so much better than everybody else, like so much more athletic. It just a treat.
I got a really great guy to introduce you to. That's a UNC grad. It was Bryce Johnson and Marcus Page's roommate.
Okay.
And you got to meet this guy. You're gonna love him. He's very much right down our alley.
Okay.
And he helped produce a movie called Hoops for Africa, NBA Hoops for Africa. It's on iTunes, which you should watch. It's great.
Okay.
And that gets into bigger ideas I have about rack kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I really want to build some courts in Africa and get through this guy, but I want to get permission from Panini to paint the cards of African legends on the courts.
Oh, sweet.
And I want to help raise money through Instagram and like people like, so, all right, if you give a certain amount, we'll put your handle on the court in Africa on the cards.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Anyway, I got big ideas. I always got a million ideas and all that. But anyway, this guy is a huge UNC guy.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. And you all should just meet because he's got, I think we could do some fun stuff.
For sure. Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I woke up at 2. It was crazy. I need to stop playing Assassin's Creed at night.
Yeah. I've been playing the show, and I should be doing homework every time I play the show, but I just can't put the controller down.
Does this not sound like we're both back in high school? It's like I'm staying up too late playing Assassin's Creed. You're saying I should be doing homework when I'm playing the baseball game. Like,
yeah. Hey, we never grew up. We just got older. And
yeah, right.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I try to keep up with the boys, and I can't do it. Oh man. Yeah, I can't do it, but I do my best, and so.
I play RBI all the time on the iPad, and then I've got the old school RBI on one of those little Nintendos that you can buy, and just club homers with Andre Dawson and like Cecil Fielder on that. It's my favorite ever video game of home runs. Is the original RBI because you club one, it's a no doubter, and the outfielder just sits there like doesn't move. I love that because then Acuna or somebody hit one and it'll be like that in real life. And the outfielder's like, forget.
Yeah, just like the pitcher's like
that one up in Marietta.
Yeah, I went to go see Freeman when he was in AAA, rehabbing, and they were trying him out at third base. So the craziest things happen when I show up to games. Like this was his first start at third base. And we went up to Charlotte to catch the Knights game. And I caught, he signed a baseball for me. There's a million hands and he grabs my baseball and signs it for me. And he's at third. And there's this guy, Jan Moncada. You've heard of him, obviously.
Oh, of course.
And he's like, oh man, you got to check this guy out. Jan Moncada. And he walks up to bat and he's facing Aaron Blair. And he just hits a shot to left field. And I think it took a window out, like across the street in the big hotels, the big skylines they have.
Oh.
I was like, oh my goodness. Like I've never seen a baseball hit that hard. And it blew my mind. And that was with the guys in the outfield. They didn't turn around or anything. Like you heard the sound and that was it.
That was it. that was it. That stuff's so fun. I adore that.
Yeah. I'm not even rooting for him. I was just, oh my goodness, this guy is incredible.
It's like that scene when Bo Jackson, Buck O'Neil talking about Bo Jackson. Like, same thing. Have you seen that Bo 30 for 30?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you got to watch it.
Okay.
But like Bo goes, and I grew up watching that guy, which was like you would love that 30 for 30 because it's all stories and legends and things like that aren't on tape too. But you totally believe it because what was on tape with that dude, like if that guy hadn't gotten hurt, like who knows?
Right.
But everything was going crazy. But they said that after his introductory press conference, he went down to take batting practice with the Royals. And like the second ball he hit or the first ball he hit, like took out like a light in Royal Stadium. And like I've been to Royal Stadium, like they're not close to the field. They're lights. And Buck O'Neil was there, and he was like, "I've only heard that sound twice." He was telling the guy, and it was Babe Ruth and Josh Gibson. And he's like, "That's the only time I've ever heard that sound." Like you said, you hear the sound, and it's like I totally believe it because if he got a hold of it, okay.
I feel like Bo could do anything. Like,
dude,
it's just he's the one guy where there's the generation right before me because let's see, I'll be 32 this year, so I missed all that.
Yeah,
and
I'm 44, so
yeah, so like that group where you just idolize Bo. It doesn't matter who you were a fan of. Everybody was a fan of Bo. And then, the team, you had your team and then you had Bo.
That's the perfect way to put it. You captured that because that's what it was. It was like, yeah, I'm a huge Braves guy, but dude, I'm going to go watch the Royals or the Raiders tonight.
And I think for us, like, I'm a fan of the Braves, but I got to see what Ken Griffey Jr. is doing. Like, so for my generation, it was Griffey, maybe,
Yeah, and that was huge here. He went to high school an hour from me.
Yeah,
because Cincinnati's only an hour.
Right.
So very much Reds and Braves country is Kentucky and I grew up loving the Reds and the Braves, but I went Braves and then I moved to Atlanta and that was it.
Yeah.
But definitely Griffey is huge here. Every day, every week, somebody's in the shop looking for a Griffey.
I don't blame him. I just started listening to a podcast about Griffey. The kid and Grant Wall is doing it with there's a rapper that's like best friends with Griffey. It's so cool just to hear those two guys tell stories about Griffey, just how cool he was in the 90s. Like he really was Michael Jordan of baseball in the 90s.
Oh, no question.
And so that Bo and Griffey parallel is pretty cool. And you see it in the hobby too, where people go crazy over Bo, crazy over Griffey still. So
you really get it. You should really watch that 30 for 30, man.
I will.
I think it's on Netflix or something. It's right down your alley too of storytelling.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. So I sent you something. I don't want to keep you forever because I know it's
no, dude. This is awesome. I've been staring at this in my safe for like 3 weeks.
So I sent it to I took it to the post office when I was going to send it, and the guy was like, "Could you have found a smaller box?" And I was like, "Next time I'll try." So just a brief thing, like we see what you do with giving, or I do it, and so like when you gave the Giannis basketball away, it was so funny because my wife, you see the Giannis, that was on purpose. This is like a rotating picture. For all our streams. And so I bought this for Mother's Day last year or her birthday, one of the two, but it was a major day. And so might have been our anniversary. I don't know. Either way, regardless, she saw it, like she freaked out when she saw you in a good way, when she saw you give the Giannis basketball away. And just blew her mind. She's like, "Oh my God, that's Giannis." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." "Wait, he did what?" "Yeah, I know." And so, that and everything else, what you do for Cam, with K-Dub and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can't match anything. I'm not going to try to. I'm not even going to start to try to.
It's not a match. That's as we said.
Right. And so when we give racks, we want to make an impact. And it was so cool because I had this idea for you this entire time. And then I started seeing tweets like some tweets that you have put out, and it was like validation. It was like you were validating this for me, like this rack for me. And so like when you open it up, you'll find out, it's not really a secret what it probably is, but
I have no idea. I really don't.
But when you open it up, I'll tell you the story of that. And
you want me to open?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Dude, by the way, I can't wait because I sent a daddy. I'm super slow on my racks. Like, hey, I think I got something for you. Like, I got something from Mooch, and it always just takes me like 6 weeks to get it together because my life. But like, I just sent one to K-Dub and Cam. It's going to be a mind blowing one.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's you guys awesome. Well, Jimmy's open it. Subscribe to Cardboard Channel, please. We got a lot of cool stuff coming, and I didn't do a proper intro, Jimmy. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Kentucky Cards. I'm Hey at TMurph, blah 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 blah, and this is our video on a rack. So and then Jimmy gets a rack with our video.
No.
So
no. Dude, you just don't have any idea.
All right. So you guys should know who that signature is.
I love this. And it also looks like you had a pin that worked.
Yeah. Yeah, finally.
But like you don't like I love collecting this, man. Like I did as a 12-year-old. Like it's like Dale Murphy again. I don't care if it's a base card, and to have a like from a friend like you, like this is so hold on, I almost broke the case. I gotta put it back in the case. Oh, look at that. Gosh, that like this is going. I might sleep with this under my pillow tonight.
So he signed these before his MLB debut. And I just so happened to be following his agent. And so, following his agent, and he's like, hey, before Ronald makes it big in the big leagues, like, he's doing the signing or whatever. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, back then I wasn't making a lot of money, and I was going through a lot of I wasn't in trouble legally, but I was
right
through some custodial stuff, and
yeah,
and lawyers are expensive. And I was talking to Ashley, and I was like, Ronald Acuna Jr. autographed baseball, and it's kind of affordable, and I really think he's going to be a big deal. Like I think he's going to be a superstar. And she was like, go for it. And I told her how much it was, and it was $75, but that was like a life altering decision for that week.
I totally get it. I totally know what you're talking about.
I mean, that's kind of where we were at that time a few years ago, where it was, that's how much we were struggling because we were having to put so much money into, life. And she said, go for it. And I was like, I married the perfect woman, but so
me too.
So I get it in the mail, and it's been on my mantle ever since. And so when I started to see like what kind of joy Acuna brought you, I was like, I love Acuna, I love him, but like this belongs with Jimmy. Like this should be.
It means the world to me. I can't display it naturally. I don't. I mean, in its entirety, like it means the world to me. It will never leave me.
Yeah.
I got plenty of things by Acuna signed. This is number one though.
Oh man,
it is. It is because it came like it's all. I think we're both the same way where it's about the story. I can buy stuff off eBay and all that, but like this is what it's about.
Yeah.
And I know those $75 decisions that are the world like that. I think that's the thing is. And I think that's also what makes giving so fun for us is we get it. We get it. We have been there. And it's like now we get to a place where we can afford to do it, even though we were doing it then too. But now it's like, well, now I can do this.
Yeah.
And I can give like this. Let's go. Let's go. But more so it's the story and it's the personal thing around it. I'm wearing a cap from a friend the shop holding a ball from a friend that gave me a dream autograph. Like, this is what I prefer to be around.
Right. For sure. That's that's what makes the hobby great though, is that there's more of us. Like, there's more stories than just ours, where, we chose kindness, they chose giving, and that, this could have been done where you just opened it and, maybe just said, hey, thanks, like, on a text or in a DM. But I wanted us to be sure that we could show, like, just what it means. Like, it's more than what you give, or it's how you give. And
yes.
And so, again, like you said, you could have bought one off eBay. You've got 1 million autographs, Acuna autographs. You got everything that you want if you wanted it. But it's more than that. And so
it always means more.
And so that's what this video is all about, is just making sure people know it's more than value. It's more than financial value. It's all about the impact that you can make on someone's life or someone's day. So.
And on that, let me say this: like, if somebody's lived with nothing and then had a lot and then got to kind of chill in the middle here, like, it could never be about financial value, because, again, pretend that you have every card you want, every autograph, all that, and then it's like, then what? Are you just Scrooge in his money bin, like diving in and like swimming around by yourself? Like, eventually it's got to be about more than just having, because you don't want to sit on a throne to yourself,
right,
alone. And the only way to do it, I think, the right way is whether it's have a meeting place.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we got all this stuff, and then every once in a while you just say, hey, man, here, just take this home with you. And that's what I want to be honest about. Like, his mom started videoing it, but we try to do that. I love doing that just about every day in the shop. Like, it's never filmed.
Right. And
like, we got kids come in, I'll be like, all right, middle man, they're getting started in their collection. They're with their dads. Like, who are you collecting? And they're like, Tyler Hero. I'm like, oh, I love Tyler Hero. That's my dude. I got a lot of Tyler Hero. So do you have an autograph card in him? Like, no, we're hoping to. It's like, okay, hold on. And we're like, I got $1 million here, but now that Tyler Hero that was cool to me, great. Now it's going to him, and that's his penultimate Tyler Hero.
Right.
And to be part of that and giving that is way better than having another Tyler Hero autograph.
And now it's his story. Like, so now he has a story to tell. And
who's that?
This is little Finley. He's gone away now. He got loose. Now he's gone away. But
he got loose.
Yeah. So he's that's his story, and that's what's so cool about it. It's I love it. I love to see stories about it. Love to see just things happen. And we walk that fine line of oh, you're just doing this to be seen, or oh, you're just doing this because you're going to get something back. I've never given with the thought of, I'm going to get something out of this. The only thing I got out of this is that somebody received some joy today, or was impacted positively today. And so I'm glad that's in your possession now. It's home where it belongs. And so it was home here for a while, new home, and a good home too. So,
well, it's great because I'll tell the story. I'll tell it over and over.
Now you have a story. So
I got a story, and thank you. It means the world to me. It really is my number one autograph now of him.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
It's perfect. So the moral is give.
That's it.
Give freely, give loosely. As men of faith too, I always like the verse or the line that, kind of paraphrasing, is like, give and do so much for others that your left hand doesn't even know what your right hand is doing. Like, I forget sometimes. Oh, that's right. I gave that to this guy 2 years ago. Man, I'm glad I made it. Like, that's what you want to do. Like, give so much that you can't even remember what you're like. Just forget it. Like, it's just keep it loose and give as much as you can.
That's it. yeah, give, be kind, and yeah, just give unexpecting, and give expecting.
Right.
So yeah, most are give, be kind, be good to other people. Too much negativity, and we need more positivity in this hobby, because there's so much good we can do for others. So,
and it's a hobby that already bends that way. There's negativity, but it is a generous hobby. I can't tell you how many times people are in the shop, and you see it online all the time too. Like, there'll be people in here and they'll hear that a kid is starting collecting, or another, it could be, it doesn't have to be a kid. It could be an old guy like me. And like, man, I always just love the reds. And some guy will walk over and be like, here, I just opened these. Here are all my reds. That happens all the time in this hobby. And I don't think it happens in a lot of other places that same way. And that is special about this. Mm-hmm. So contributing, putting more into that, where that continues that trend, is one thing I always used to tell my students and my counselors when I was a staff director was, I look at it like this: put sand on the right side of the scale. I look at every person as a scale, and I want every interaction with them that I have, where I'm putting sand on the side, the good side of the scale, where it helps tip the favor of their life in the good direction. And talking about where, if some people are negative or having a tough time and all that, I like that, because I'm even if I don't see that scale tip and their life change, which that's kind of the gift, is when you get to see your impact help change their life. Even if I'm putting it all on this side of the scale and it's tipping, and somebody else puts that one grain of sand and it tips later, and I don't see it, then I still contributed to it tipping.
That's right.
And going in their favor. So I always say I'm putting sand on the scale. I'd say it to all my, like, when you're tired, when you're beat, all that, put sand on the scale. I'd say it to my staff all the time, because you never know when what you contributed is going to tip their life in the favor, and the what they need, whatever that may be, is going to tip it. Because eventually what you do is, for a while, you can fall in love with seeing the scale tip. And that's really that way as a teacher, when you see that light come on and you're like, oh. But then eventually, as time goes by, you fall in love with just the act of putting sand on the scale. And if you see it tip or not, it doesn't matter. I just love knowing that that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I love it. I think that's a good place to stop. Like that's perfect.
Good. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I get real philosophical sometimes.
That's wonderful. I hope that somebody got something from this. Like, just learn something today, grew today, or tonight, whenever you watch this. Guys, go follow Jimmy at Kentucky Cards on Twitter. I don't know your Instagram handle. I don't Instagram. So.
Kentucky Basketball Cards on Instagram.
At Kentucky Basketball Cards on Instagram. I'm at Hey It's TMurph. Subscribe to the Cardboard channel, and that's it. Be blessed, guys.
You guys are hot. Thank you. Thank you.
Jimmy, we'll see you, man. I'm gonna get Mooch to get his guy to edit this out, or kind of cut it all into. I condense it, I guess, and
I love this so much.
But yeah, I wanted to share the moment with you. I think it's, it's not often, with Zoom it's cool, but it's not often you get to kind of have that one-on-one,
I love it. That's why I'm so glad we got to do it today in a quiet shop, not with my phone going 1,000 miles an hour. I just love it. So thank you. It truly will be cherished.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. Like I it's so cool. I just to be able to do, cool things for other people, and, arrange to have cool things done for other people, and how it all works, and the stories behind it. So I really do, hope that
awesome.
People got something out of it, and
I know,
and are encouraged and inspired. That's all this was. I was like, encourage and inspire. That's what we do. So
the more I can be around good men of faith too, my life is better. Iron sharpens iron, right?
That's it. Iron sharpens iron.
So I love it and appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man, for sure. We got we got baseball practice in just a little bit that we've got. So I'm actually working on something for my oldest kid's baseball team. For
Really?
our season. Yeah, they're just now starting the season, so I'm like, I got to figure something out for them. So, my mind's my wheels are spinning about what to do for them now.
Well, whatever I can do to like throw in stuff to help on that, you let me know.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
I'm in.
Sure.
We're sponsoring like a bunch of kids down the street and all that kind of stuff. There's a Little League Park 2 blocks from us. So,
oh, sweet.
like, but what if you need cards of certain players or whatever? Like, just hit me up.
Okay, for sure. I definitely will. That's been the cool thing is kind of, at the end of the year, everybody getting all the kids getting a pack of baseball cards, and it's just like it's another way to help the hobby grow. Like,
if you found out all their favorite players, we put that together. Like, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. We can do it. We can do it. I appreciate it, man.
Well, go have fun at practice, and thank you. This is great.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man. Have a great Sunday, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
All right, my dude. You too.
All right.
Tell
bye.
Ash, hey, too.
I will.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye, Jimmy.